Hello and happy 11th day of Christmas in this 12 Days of Christmas series where I talk about a gift that God gave me every month in my Jesus year. Today we're talking about the month of November. And in the month of November, Jessica and I had the great gift of going to a special restaurant called Club 33, which if you don't know what Club 33 is, it is a very exclusive restaurant in Disneyland. And we were celebrating our 33rd year, our Jesus year together. Earlier in the year, she and I ran this fire relief effort at our parish, at our church, and we met someone super special. John and Caitlin Stamos were there at our fire relief. They got interviewed by Entertainment Tonight, like in my office, and it was just such a special and weird gift of the fire relief to meet these people at, such a high scale of influence and to work alongside them to serve our community. Well, I was messaging back and forth with Caitlin quite a bit. And one day I was really trying to get away from the parish office. I was sleeping there for the first several days, and my cousin lived in Norwalk at the time. So I was trying to go stay with her, and I was just trying to go to brunch or something one day into the park and go with my nephews and go with my cousin and just try to do one thing to take my mind off of 20 hours a day of fire relief that I was doing during that time. And I was really trying to bully myself to do this. And just the work was so demanding that I didn't go. I went back to the office as soon as I could. And I even left all my things in Norwalk to try and get myself to stay there another night, a couple of nights. And I didn't. I had a friend pick up everything from there and bring it back to me at the office. So I wasn't able to stay away from the work and from the fire relief. My heart was too heavy. There was too much to do. The demand was too high, and I couldn't not respond. And one day I was calling Caitlin, and she was actually really good at answering all the time, the text messages and the phone calls. And one time I called her and she wasn't able to pick up. And her voicemail was the voice of Minnie Mouse. And it just took me by surprise. It was literally the day I was trying to go to Disneyland, and I cried a little bit because Disney is just something that brings me joy and that is childlike for me. It's a way for me to embrace some childlike part of me and hold on to the most innocent, pure parts of my inner child. So when I heard Minnie Mouse's voice, I teared up and I left her the voicemail, and then I left her a voice note and I said, thank you so much for that voicemail. I was trying to go to Disneyland today to try and give something to myself during this time, and it didn't work out, but I felt like Disneyland came to me. So thank you. And she offered for me to go to Club 33 and for me to bring a friend. And I thought about it for a while, and the only person that makes sense to bring is Jessica because she was my right-hand woman during the fire relief. And when she offered it to me in January, my birthday is in February, and I told her maybe around my birthday when all of this slows down. And then when everything with the fire relief slowed down, my health took a really sharp decline. And I was spending so much of my waking hours in bed, and the little energy that I had left, I was trying to give everything I could to my job. And it was a really frightening time. I was in the hospital a lot. I was on a lot of medication. I even went to ER, and I thought I broke a rib from the amount of coughing because of my poor little asthma lungs were suffering with the toxins in the air after the fires. And so I just let it go. But I got it in the back of my mind to ask. I was actually pretty scared to ask, but I mustered up the courage for me and for Jessica. Just for a little backstory, I go to Disney a lot. My friend works there, my cousin works there, and I have a pass. And every time I've passed by Club 33, I think to myself, and I've said out loud, I'll never go in. I'll never know what it's like to be there. And wouldn't it be so cool if one day, miraculously, I could get there? Doubt it. Oh, well. I've always passed by with that thought. And, to be offered it after such a demanding and sacrificial time of giving myself in the fire relief, which, as I said, was painful, but also very meaningful. It felt, not like a gift from Caitlin and John Stamos, but from the Father himself. And of course, it was totally magnificent to be able to go inside. And it was even New Orleans themed. So it made me feel quite at home with the Louisiana vibe. And I think the day that we went was actually the first day of the holiday menu. And so everything was Christmas decorated. It was late November. And it was truly a gift that people donated to the cause and helped us pay for our meal too. We have a very generous community who wanted to give us a beautiful treat. Going to this restaurant was something that I felt I never would be able to do. And it felt like the Father was telling both of us, no, I love you and I delight in you. You're my beloved daughter and I can do anything. And it was given to us so easily, and it couldn't have been more, I don't know, there's something so kismet about it that we were there for our 33rd birthday. There's something so beautiful about the narrative. And obviously this is God's story, that we would get the gift of this like exquisite, beautiful meal and service to really delight in ourselves for our 33rd year. And especially, I told you earlier that my word of the year was lower. I felt not lower at all. I felt totally elevated, but it reminds me of the gospel where he exalted the humbled, that he took our lowliness and he elevated us for some reason in all of our lowliness in a way that we didn't deserve. But he gave it to us anyway. And that's what I kept saying throughout the whole lunch. Jessica, God didn't have to do this, but he did it anyway. He didn't have to do this for us. And any good gift that I received in my Jesus year, I just felt that way, that God didn't have to do that for us, but he did. And I really just think of how in scripture we hear God can't be outdone in generosity. And he illustrated that to us with a meal, with an entry into this dining place that we didn't deserve. We didn't deserve to go here. And yet he paved the way for us to go. So I'm sure people want to hear about the meal and what it looked like. It really was such a gift to go and feel so special and feel like the Father gave that to us. We felt like little princesses. I think that's a gift I'll never forget. And I'll see you tomorrow for December for the last of the 12 Days of Christmas series.